than $1 trillion. That's how much global trade travels through the Red Sea every year. But now, the world's biggest cargo ships are undertaking a 4,000-mile detour to avoid being attacked. This situation stems from the political tension in the Middle East, where Yemeni rebel group known as the Houthis remain intent on disrupting international shipping routes. Since the middle of November 2023, the Houthis have been attacking commercial ships in the Red Sea, causing huge sustained damage to global trade. And in recent retaliation, the US and the UK have launched several strikes on Houthi targets. This, combined with the Israel and Gaza conflict, continues to make the Middle East very unsettling. These issues clearly have a huge knock-on effect felt all around the globe, with many shipping companies continuing to avoid the Red Sea. To put it simply, the world's economy remains on a knife edge. Just when prices around the world for goods looked like they may have been about to decline, we're faced with this latest and growing risk. To put this situation into even more perspective, around 1,500 ships passed through the Red Sea every month last year. But between November and December, the number of containers travelling through the Red Sea fell by 60%. The Red Sea is an important highway for global shipping, with a third of all containers moved by ships travelling through this section of water. Damaging this shipping network is like throwing a stone into a calm pond. The ripples spread everywhere. This story is constantly changing, but it first began when the Iran-backed Houthis claim they're attacking ships linked to Israel in the Red Sea because they want Israel to stop fighting in Gaza. However, many also claim the Houthis are attacking boats without actually validating if they are in any way connected to Israel. The world is set for further political and economic issues that could embroil the entire Middle Eastern region and beyond if this continues. That is, of course, a worst-case scenario, but it's also a realistic one given the current climate. 12% of the oil that travels by sea and 8% of the liquefied natural gas pass through the Suez Canal, which is connected to the Red Sea. As we saw with the 2021 Suez Canal obstruction, worldwide financial damage can be done in this very small part of the world. Back then, the blockage was holding up trade valued at roughly $9 billion a day. Fast forward to now, and ships are again avoiding the Red Sea because of the unpredictability of these attacks, with vessels taking a much longer route around Africa. But this isn't cheap. It costs an extra $1 million in fuel just to make that trip. Even with this added cost though, more than 150 ships have still opted for this longer route since November. And here's another headache. The insurance prices for ships using the Red Sea have skyrocketed by almost 10 times since these attacks started. Shipping companies need to make up these additional fuel costs and insurance premiums, while also funding additional staff wages for longer journeys. One of the biggest shipping companies in the world, CMA CGM from France, recently said they're going to double the rates for moving things from Asia to Europe. So who pays for all of this? Us, the consumers. And this isn't where the shipping controversy ends. Back in 2019, Iran caused chaos by attacking some oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. There was also a recent drought in Panama which affected the country's canal, which usually assists with 5% of all the things traded in the world. Transportation by sea is a huge aspect of all of our lives. Despite there not being any immediate increase to the prices we pay for things just yet, experts think Europe might start to feel the pinch sooner than the US. This is because the Red Sea is the only way for certain ships to get to Europe. This essential passageway connects some of the biggest buyers in Europe with Asian manufacturers. But it's not just the shipping companies and their customers that are affected. There's also one big other loser in this ongoing conflict. That's Egypt. The Suez Canal Authority is a major source of income for this country, providing a degree of stability to their already distressed economy. From June 22 to June 23, a 12-month period, the Suez Canal Authority made a record-breaking $9.4 billion in revenue. During this time, just under 26,000 ships passed through the canal, compared to 23,800 in the previous fiscal year. Understandably, Rabea, the authority's chairman, has been working hard to reassure ship owners that the risks in the Suez Canal are under control. The big question now is how Cairo, Egypt's capital, will deal with the problems caused by the Red Sea issues and the harm it's bringing to its country. Will Egypt decide to eventually act against the Houthis? This comes with a risk, and it could turn into something bigger and far more dangerous. The US and the UK have struck Houthi targets multiple times, including 36 new targets on February the 3rd. As President Biden has previously admitted, these military actions so far haven't deterred the Houthis from attacking. They have also vowed revenge. But strikes are likely to continue. The US and the UK will be hoping continued aerial bombardment, the increased presence of their warships, along with military collaboration with some other nations, can start to halt the Houthi rebels. There are also further financial challenges to consider with the Houthis, who are opting for cheap drones to cause them major damage, while warships can't protect every commercial ship. Naval missiles, priced at just over $2 million per launch, are being used to neutralise relatively low-cost Houthi drones. They are estimated to be just over a few $1,000s each. Defending commercial ships in the Red Sea is harder than ever, while utilising airstrikes to stop the Houthis at their routes do also make things more complicated, with the possibility of a bigger conflict in the region. Tensions with Iran, a nation who have deployed a warship into the Red Sea themselves, are seemingly growing on a daily basis. The Houthis also seem motivated about the prospect of fighting with the United States. Experts also warn that continued aerial bombardment from the US and the UK could reignite the civil war once again in Yemen. So, every choice the United States and their allies have comes with serious problems. These military efforts by Western nations to ensure safe passage for ships highlights the seriousness of this issue. However, the decisions made in response to this conflict, particularly by countries like Egypt, could have far-reaching consequences. It is not only set to affect the global economy, but it possesses a huge global risk of a far-reaching war. At this stage, it seems the solution may only be found in a political boardroom meeting and not in a bloody sea and aerial conflict. Thanks for watching, please consider subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.